you're not shutting for half an hour though, are you? So why does it matter? Don't be pulling your face and huffing and puffing like we're the bad guys because we've already purchased our last order, but now we've got to drink it and you want to get in bed because you're dead tired and that. Well, unfortunately, it's not my fault that you chose this profession, is it? You could go and swap your job for something else, and then you won't have to work till midnight on a Friday evening, would you? So I'd appreciate it if you didn't huff and puff every time we have our last drink. All right, nice one. Defo not coming here again.
Beware the
Ignore him, guys. He gets like this at the end of his shift. But for last orders today, this is what we're going to be having. Marston's, Burton-on-Trent, Marston's Brewery, established in 1834. Pedigree Amber Ale, 4.5 ABV. Okay, so I just took this out the fridge about 10 minutes ago. Starting to acclimatise a bit to the room temperature, but nice and chilly still. It's got a pretty cool lid, which has basically got the Marston's logo. What is that? Oh, I think that's the top of a barrel. Or the bottom of a barrel and the top of the barrel. You can see that. Anyway, don't want to shake it up too much. Let's crack this pappy open. Nice little bit of a smoky Joe coming off there. I don't know if you can... Hello, baby. I don't want to smell it just yet. Am I getting anything from there? Not really. Let's pour her in. Okay. Ooh. It's a little bit darker than what I was expecting, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, damn. Tell me that don't look like a nice beverage. So straight away, talking a two-finger Whitehead. It's quite a cloudy beer. Not much in the way of the old carbonation going on. But don't be fooled. Don't judge a book by its cover, as they say. Okay. It's funny because I've just done a review on the Northern Monk, A Little Faith, I think it's called, which is like a hazy IPA. And now I'm going on to this ale. It's funny because when I first started doing these reviews, if you said to me, oh, what's the difference between like an ale, a stout, a lager? I would have just said, mate, it's all the same. It's all the same hat. You know what I'm saying? But it isn't. And the more that I'm getting into it, the more I'm starting to realise there's a big difference. And I remember thinking, why are they creating so many different labels? Like ales, IPAs, lagers. It's all beer. Stouts, porter. Like, just call it a beer. But they really are in a league of their own. And the funny thing is, what I'm starting to realise is, just off the aromas alone, I'm starting to be able to distinguish between an IPA, an ale, a lager and a stout. And that's got an ale aroma. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to put into words what that categorizing smell is. It's almost like It's like a lager doesn't really have any fruitiness, like smell going on at all. Or maybe that's just the lagers that I've, tried so far. Maybe down the line I will eat all my words, but I can only tell you what I've experienced up to now, and this is my current today's verdict on it all. A lager doesn't really have a fruity smell, as far as I'm concerned. An IPA is very citrusy a lot of the time, like the hazy IPAs. They're very flavourful. And if I'm not mistaken, from what I've researched on when you come to craft the beer, the way that you do that is by throwing the hops in right at the end of the crafting the beer, right at the end. Just like dunking a tea bag gently, just bang, just gently, right at the end. So you don't really get too much bitterness. An ale is like a very tame version of like an IPA, if that makes sense. So I'm getting some kind of like citrusy kind of smell. But then at the same time, I'm just getting original smelling beer. You know what I mean? Like, this would appeal more to the older generation than like an IPA, which I think are fruitier to appeal to the newer generation. But at the same time, it's for someone who's like, I don't just want to drink lager. I want something with a bit of a flavour going on. You know what I'm saying? Someone a bit more experimental. And I think that's why I like ales. But without further ado, let's taste this. So, it's got a good white head retention, like it's staying there. It looks really nice. Cheers. That is like someone's just wrapped their arms around me and are giving me an emotional hug. It's comforting. That is what I've just experienced. Let me go again. It's raining outside. I'm in an old country farm pub. It's cold, it's dark, it's winter. There's not a lot of people in the boozer. It's old English, like this one. The fire's roaring. We're sat in the armchairs next to the fire, old English pub style. I've just been given this to drink. That is literally the perfect environment to drink this. It's the perfect environment to drink that. Let me go again. Perfect carbonation levels. It's not underwhelming, but it's not overpowering. I've not come in the pub from outside where I've been freezing and now I'm drinking a cold Coca-Cola. It's got enough carbonation where it's subtle, but it's not a stout. I am still an ale. they perfected it. Like I say, it's circumstantial kind of drink. It's not a session like beer. You wouldn't want to stay on it and drink it all night, but if you told me, Max, we're going to be in this pub for the next hour or two, and you've not got to drive home and you're off tomorrow, so feel free to just sit in front of the fire and consume as many of these as you want for the next hour or two, I'd happily drink 4 of these in them circumstances and someone else drives me home. It's an absolute perfect bitterness. What did I drink when the bitterness was just overwhelming? I think it was like Golden Champion. I think it was called by the Badger brewery or brand. And it was more like, this says, oh, amber ale. Okay. It's not a pale ale. Ooh, have I just unlocked a new door? Have I just uncovered something, guys? Do I like amber ales? Maybe a pale ale's still too close to lager for me. An amber ale gives it such a distinctive, like, darker colour, beautiful carbonation, and a tame bitterness. But that could just be this. The MARSTON'S Brewery version, the pedigree. Maybe, or we'll find out, we're going to go down the amber ales as well. But they have absolutely smashed that bitterness. That Golden Champion that I had, it kind of had an alright flavour, but it was elderflower as well. And it just, I don't know, it veered off track as you started letting the flavours run over your taste buds. Whereas this, it stays on track and it gets better and better. There's nothing overpowering about it. I wouldn't say there's a distinctive flavour that hits you. It's more of an emotion that hits you, like I say, like a level of comfort. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but sometimes, like, say I've been working and it's been stressful for a while, and I don't know about you guys in America, because I don't know, do you have like pubs or is it just bars and stuff? I've never been, so I don't really know, but in the UK we have pubs, like, especially like in the countryside you have like the old English pubs and stuff, and they're the ones I like. And when I've been working away, or not even away, but like where I work, it's like country orientated. And that's been for a few years. And like on a Friday or whatever, me and the boys, like, will finish, well, before I changed my job recently, and we would go to there. And when you get in there, you get your beer and you sit down, and it's sort of like how I described before. And you have that first beer, and you start feeling the knots unwinding from the stresses of life, and you've just been on the go. But then you sit and you have that beer, and it just unravels them knots. And then you start realising, and then the ABV kicks in, and you start talking to the boys, your mates, you're like, where have we been? Where have we been? We've been together all day, but I've not seen you once. Because your mindset's in a different place. But then you get in the boozer, and you come back to reality, and you see your mate again. but why your mates? You know what I mean? You love being around the guy, your busy mate. In my circumstance, Jordo, that's who it's been for years. He's coming on Saturday. And this particular pedigree, in the taste, the second you taste it, it's like Mike Tyson in his prime, just boxing them knots straight out of you. And the second you get in the boozer, you sit down, you've not even got to have one or two for the knots to unravel. You just sip it. You see me reaction the first sip. You just take that first gulp, and there's something about it. It's a Mike Tyson KO, unraveling the knots instantly. You've not even got to get drunk. You've not got to feel the ABV. There's just something in it that does that to you. That's the best way I can describe it. That might not happen for everyone, but that's the way that's just what's happened with me. I've got a little bit of history. Pardon me. Marston's Brewery has a long and storied heritage, founded in 1834 by John Marston at the Horninglow Brewery in Burton upon Trent. It later moved to its Albion Brewery on Shobnall Road, where it still operates today. What really sets Marston's apart is its use of traditional Burton Union fermentation system, linked oak casks that impart a fruity dryness and distinct mineral profile, thanks to Burton's iconic gypsum rich water. Okay, so they're using local water as well, which is a rich sort of water, they're saying. And I am actually a firm believer that the water, it plays a massive part. It must do. Because I don't know if you guys have ever, like, bought a couple of different waters and tried them. They are actually totally different from each other, depending on the brand. Not all water tastes the same. It blew my mind when I first realised that, so that must affect the beer as well. One of Marston's flagship beers is Pedigree, a 4.5% amber ale. Apparently they do it in pale ale as well. Originally introduced in 1952 after a staff naming competition, with then head brewer George Peard lending his name to the label. Pedigree continues to be fermented in the Union sets, giving it its characteristic lightly woody undertones, biscuit malt, gentle fruitiness, and a touch of sulphur from the Burton water. And maybe they have just actually worded that how I couldn't. Like I said, it's not an initial bursting flavour in your mouth. It's more of a emotional punch in the face. And they've used the words gentle fruitiness, and that's what it is. There's something there, but I don't know what. Then that biscuity malt is coming through, like they've said. Sulphur, I don't know about sulphur, but they're right in them two descriptions. What would I give this out of 10? I actually really like that. It's not overpowering. It's delicious. It's circumstantial, but in the right circumstances. It's just a pleasure. I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna have to. And it's not based on the flavours are magnificent. It's just based on, like, the craftsmanship of the beer, the science, what they've created, the final product. Bravo. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember, beware the moon.
Beware the moon.